Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings. I tell you what, we've had such really hot weather here in southern Oklahoma the last few days, 103, 104, and heat index way up there. And when I came into the office about 4:15 this morning, it was like 73 degrees. It was like, wow, cool deal. Oh, well, welcome back. We are involved in a study of the eschatology of the parables of Jesus. We're in Matthew chapter 25, 31 and following. And I want you to notice that Jesus teaches something here that flies in the face of at least two of the futurist views. Here's what I mean. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 24 and following, Paul says, He, Christ, must reign until He has put all things under His feet. When He has put all things under His feet, then He will deliver up the kingdom to the Father. Well, I was raised believing, it's still the dominant view in the fellowship in which I was raised, that, when Christ comes again, He gives up His throne. He abdicates. He surrenders. He no longer rules and reigns. I could give quote after quote after quote from representatives from the amillennial world to that effect. Well, it does say He must reign until, and the normal meaning of the word until is a terminal, but it can also be a transitional, okay? Paul told Timothy, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, and to doctrine until I come. Well, that surely doesn't mean that Timothy was supposed to stop reading Scripture and stop teaching, etc., when Paul arrived. No, we have to look at it. Well, look at what Matthew 25:31 does. The traditional view says, at His coming, Jesus quits the throne. But Matthew 25, Jesus Himself said, when the Son of Man comes in His glory with His angels, then shall He sit on the throne of His glory. As William Bell has well stated, at His coming, Jesus sits. He does not quit. Here is an absolutely important fact. The word deliver in 1 Corinthians 15 is from the Greek word paradidomi, and it doesn't mean surrender, doesn't mean abdicate. Same identical word used in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 2, when Paul says, I delivered the gospel to you. Well, when Paul delivered the gospel to the Corinthians, did he surrender his authority over it? Did he abdicate his authority? No, he did not. He shared it with them. And here's an interesting and critical fact. Every single other passage that talks about Christ's relationship with the kingdom at His coming has Him entering fully into the exercise of His authority. As a matter of fact, Revelation posits, and Matthew 25, 1-13 posits, Jesus' marriage to the church at His coming. So we got a real problem here, don't we? On the one hand, the traditional view says, okay, at His coming, Jesus surrenders the church, gives it over to the Father, no longer rules. Then they turn right around and say, at His coming, Jesus marries the church. Well, according to the traditional view then, that at His coming, Jesus surrenders the church, that must mean Jesus divorces His church at the very moment He comes to marry her. Really? There's something really wrong here. Absolutely, really wrong. Look, I discuss this and a whole lot more in my book, Like Father, Like Son, on Clouds of Glory. Go to my website, eschatology.org or bibleprophecy.com. Order the book, mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Hey, there's so much more here in this last parable of the Olivet Discourse, and you don't want to miss it. Get my book, Like Father, Like Son, all right? And we'll see you on the flip side.